Hey people! So this is the first Q&A video I've had up in a long time. Haven't done one in forever. If you've been following me for a long time, you'll know that I did a lot of Q&A videos. I actually probably have about 30 on this channel. But I figured I would bring it back because I have new people in my audience so they can ask me more interesting questions. I didn't get a lot this time, but if you want to ask me questions in the next Q&A, feel free to down below and your comment might be in that video. Let's get started. First question comes from @JanoSkittles from Twitter. I noticed on your last video that you have a piercing. I really want to get one. Does it hurt to get it? This is a great question. I don't think I've ever been asked about my piercings before. So currently I only have 2 piercings. Yes, only 2 piercings. I actually have to think about it. You know that's when I used to have a problem. I don't know which one you saw, but I'll talk about both just in case. So the first piercing I ever got, other than my earlobes, was my cartilage piercing that I have here. This piercing did not hurt at all. Like, okay, I'd be lying if it didn't hurt a little bit. It's like a pinch, and then you barely feel it go through, and then it's a little bit of throbbing afterwards. You gotta kind of not lay on it for a couple of weeks, but other than that, it's not that bad, really. And I was really scared to get it. It was my first piercing I ever got, my cartilage area, and I thought that it was gonna be the most painful thing ever, so I got all this adrenaline built up, and then when I went to go do it, it was like nothing happened, so I kind of worried for nothing. My other piercing I have is an industrial piercing. It's a bar that goes all the way through your ear. To do this piercing, different piercers have different techniques, but my piercer, he pierced one hole first and then let it sit for a bit and then pierced the other one and then put the bar through. This one, the first hole didn't hurt that bad, so that's the normal hole here, and this was the second one. The second one, he had a hard time getting the needle through, but after he got it through, it really wasn't that bad. My ear did bleed a lot though, so I had to sit there for a while with him. He was trying to stop the bleeding. But other than that, this piercing has literally given me no problems whatsoever. And what I mean by that is I was able to pretty much lay on it, sleep on it, because I sleep sideways, like with my head down. I had no issue sleeping on that side of my ear, so that wasn't an issue whatsoever. I didn't have to deal with an infection. It healed in about a week. I guess that side of my ear just heals really quickly, and I think it's because the bar kind of supports your ear a little bit more because it goes through 2 holes. That's what she said. It feels better. I don't know why. Maybe it heals faster for some and it doesn't for others, but for me, it healed pretty quickly. I've also, if you can see, which you can because the light is really bright, oh, maybe if I pull it down, I have 2 little holes here because I used to have an eyebrow piercing. I actually had that pierced twice. The first time it ripped out when I was taking off my shirt. That was painful as hell. And so I went and got it redone, and then it just got infected, so I ended up taking it out. I've also had my nose pierced, which was pretty cool. And I've had another piercing, but I'll let you guys think that over of where it was. Ryan Neal from YouTube asks, what does your wrist tattoo say? Well, again, much like the piercing, I have 2 wrist tattoos, so I will go over both of them for you. Take care of me, appreciate and make the other one. This is the tattoo I think you were referring to, and it's really overexposed. I swear my skin's not really that white. I'm white, but not that white. It says, just look over your shoulder. This is from a Phil Collins song. I do believe it's actually from Tarzan, the Disney movie. No. Well, it is. And it's something my mom said to me before she passed away, pretty much that if anything happens, she pretty much knew she was dying. So she told me if anything happens or if you need me, just look over your shoulder and I'll always be there. So I got it tattooed to remember and to just always have it there. I look down and I think of my mom. This tattoo here, I got my first year of illustration. My teacher was teaching us how to paint and form, and his way of teaching us was his method of 1, 2, 4, 3, 5, which followed a certain code to create form. I won't go over that with you because this video will literally be 20 minutes long if I did. But yeah, he joked around saying that you guys should all get that tattooed because you forget it all the time, so I actually did go out and got it tattooed on my arm. So there it is, and I think it looks pretty cool too. Ashley Horn from YouTube asks, where do you live? I live in Ontario, Canada, about a 15-minute drive away from Toronto. I've lived here now, I think, for about 12 years. When I was a kid, I moved around a ton. I think I've moved around 14 times in my whole entire life, but where I live now is the longest I've been in, well, ever. My dad really likes it here. We really like it here. It's really comfortable and a safe town to live in, so I'm happy where I am. May not live here forever, probably gonna move out at some point and move elsewhere, but nonetheless, for right now, it's great. This beautiful individual asks, could you show us your camera setup? So here it is. So this is my shooting setup. I've got 2 light boxes, one there, one there. Then I've got my Sony NEX5 that is hooked up to my tripod, along along with my Zoom H1 that has the wind thingamajigger on it that kind of looks like a clown nose. Honk honk. And it's attached to my camera with like little adapters that I got while I was in the States. And then down here I've got my laptop, which has usually got either my script or a list, just dot jots of what I need to talk about in my video, and my monitor that is hooked up to my camera, because this camera doesn't have a flip out screen that I can see what's going on. So I look here just to make sure I'm in frame. And then here's that table I was telling you about, that $20 table I got from Walmart. It does just the tricks. It's got legs down there, and you can adjust the height of this thing too, which is pretty cool. Nothing special really, it does the job, and I'm quite fond of it. I'm liking my little setup. Hala Muhammad from YouTube asks, what's your favorite album? Oh, this is a really hard question. If we're talking all time here, I would have to say it's a tie between Thriller and Bad by Michael Jackson. Both albums produced so many hits. It was insane. I just love those albums to death. I could listen to them non-stop and they would never get old. If we're talking about more so present time, I am currently really into Serena Ryder. She's got 2 hit songs on the radio right now. Stompa is probably one that you have heard of. If you have not heard of Serena Ryder, definitely check her out. She has great songs. She's a Canadian artist, so I think that's awesome. And her album, just every song on that album is good. There is like not a single song. So those are the type of albums I like, ones that I can listen to over and over again and just have great sound. And she does. So check her out if you haven't. So guys, that's all the questions I got this week. I know it's kind of short notice because I just asked you yesterday, but let's see if we can get some more questions. Comment down below. And this will be a weekly thing. I'll do a Q&A every week for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button. Comment down below. Share this video any way you can. Tweeters, book faces, Google Pluses. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to see you lovely people here next time. And until next time, toodles.